Matt, but Matt McCarty is in studio. It's live radio. Welcome, everyone. It's kind of like sausage. You don't want to look behind the scenes and see how it's made, but yeah, but we're great. It is time to get an update from the Terrace at Ruby View, our senior and active lifestyle center, from the director extraordinaire. Of course, our Matt McCarty is in studio with us to bring us up to date. Matt, we so appreciate seeing you. Thank you for being here today.
It is always good to be here. You are too kind to me.
Never.
And yeah, definitely when I'm in the studio, I've the face for radio. So the sausage making part works out well. It's like, no, don't look behind the scenes. Just ignore the curtain and, keep on going.
Oh, no, you are forever our Boy Scout. In fact, we were talking with a group of friends the other day about how many, it's just sort of a quick plug for scouting, but how many scouts have actually gone on to become local leaders in the community. And you are among them, correct?
Well, thank you. Yes. And I actually didn't ever make it into Boy Scouts. I was just Cub Scouts, and then my brother and I decided not to go any further, and 20-ish, 30-ish years later, our youngest son said, I want to get into Scouts, and so I got back involved with the organization. I love it. I have so much fun, and Carson has got his Eagle project ready to go. He's almost eagled out, and I think my wife is like, all right, you're going to settle down, right? And I said, sorry, honey, no, I'm probably going to stay with it.
I like this Boy Scout thing, yeah. Well, I never got to be a Girl Scout. I got to be in the Campfire Girls, and I was a Bluebird, I think they called us. So, yeah, so I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, it is a fun organization. It is a good organization, and it. I had an opportunity to lead an adult leadership training. In fact, it was split 2 different weekends. The second weekend is in about a month. And one of the things that I tried to say is, because we're teaching our adult leaders how to teach our youth, and so one of the training points that I made was there are 12 points of the Scout Law, and any morally gray question can be answered with one of those 12 points. Will the question in hand follow any one of these points, and if so, then that's the direction to go generally. So
pretty cool to have a guide like that.
I think it works out well. There are many guides in life, whether it's
Rotary
the Bible,
has a great
or
one.
I love the 4 points of Rotary. I love as well, and religious of course. Books and tomes have guidance, and so there are plenty of things that have guidance, and I think that as long as we hold on to what it is that's important in our life, and we stay true to that, then I think many of the ills of the world could be solved pretty easily. But we have a tendency to be selfish as human creatures.
Oh, well, anything but. Certainly, under your leadership, the Terrace at Ruby View, and speaking of what people hold dear, it's Flag Day, and the Terrace at Ruby View has been embracing that tradition as well.
Yes, ma'am. We had a terrific presentation today. It started about 11:15. The RPEN group, which is representing Public Employees of Nevada, they meet at our terrace at the Senior Center about once a month. And this month it fell on Flag Day, so they coordinated with the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 2309. I think that's right, 2309. And so the VFW had their color guard. I had also arranged for a color guard, not realizing that there was a bit of a mix-up. And so our local Civil Air Patrol, Combined Squadron 029, came out as well. So we had 4 cadets from the Civil Air Patrol join along with our VFW color guard, and we had a presentation of the colors. And then Miss Carrie Snyder sang the national anthem. We all joined in on the first verse, and then she continued. And many people aren't aware that there are actually 4 verses to Francis Scott Key's memorable Star Spangled Banner, and the first of which is what we use as our national anthem. But it was great to hear her continue to sing additional verses.
Well, very cool, and a great way to observe Flag Day and to remind people of the significance of that. So cool.
Absolutely. And if you're interested, this evening there will be another Flag Day presentation put on by the Elko Club, and that'll be at their lodge, which is across the street from both the VFW and from the Elko softball fields.
It's the Masonic Hall?
The Masonic Hall,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're on well, I think it's now VFW Drive is what they call it. So VFW Drive and College.
Yeah, and there we are full circle because it's on the same block as the Elko Girl Scout house.
There you are, exactly.
We have come full circle today with Matt, and that just if this
and
is
that wraps the program, right? We're done. No? Oh,
no,
okay.
there are so many cool things to talk about on behalf of our senior population, those who are 60 or better, which we remind everyone you don't have to be 60 or better to enjoy the activities, Matt, or to enjoy the daily weekday meals anyway. And certainly this community outreach extends to plenty of other projects too. So I guess we could sort of dive right in with maybe bingo in Spring Creek tonight. That's
Absolutely.
First on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be able to be at the Masonic Lodge with the Elks this evening because I will be out in Spring Creek, and we are having our bingo in Spring Creek. Doors open at 5:30. The game starts at 6. Buy-in is only $10, and it's cash payouts. So we take the pot, split it in half, and 50% of the money that we collect goes right back out in cash payouts. And so we hope that you all can join us. It's going to be at the Spring Creek Association boardroom, which is there by the golf course. And the club is nice enough to allow us to extend into their restaurant if we need to. But it's also great because in Elko, we at the senior center serve hot dogs and nachos. The club has a more expanded menu, so you can get some adult beverages. You can get some a meal that you'd like to eat. They've got some really good pizza and wings, is what I like, and so that's something that I know of they have, and it's really good. So I hope that you all can join us out in Spring Creek for tonight's bingo. And if you'd like to stay in town, or if tonight's not a good night for you, next Thursday, which will be the 22nd, we will have bingo in Elko. And it will be at the Terrace at the Senior Center there at 1795 Ruby View. And for the Elko one, doors open at 5, game starts at 5:30. We do take an intermission, as I mentioned, where we have hot dogs and nachos and sweet treats usually, but again, it's a more of a payout. I tell people that if you're looking for a larger dollar pot, a larger money win, then come to the Elko one. But if you're looking for a better option of winning and a better chance of winning, go to the Spring Creek one. So fewer people in Spring Creek, better odds, but more money in Elko.
Yep, and if you're a bingo diehard, you can always hit both.
Absolutely, and we would greatly appreciate that support.
Yep, because it does support the Terrace at Ruby View for any of the extracurricular activities. Of course, bingo night is a great and important fundraiser for our senior population. Other things that are on the agenda too, I want to make sure that we get to, an update in Spring Creek services. People may wonder, I thought the Terrace at Ruby View served Elko residents, but you're serving the entire region now.
We are serving both communities of Elko and Spring Creek. Within Elko, it's the Elko city limits, and that's somewhat of an arbitrary border, and the main reason we do that is so that we know where we can safely deliver our food. We'd love to be able to have enough equipment and enough employees to be able to drive to Osino or Rendon or any of those other places that are beyond the city limits of Elko. We just unfortunately don't have that. So we have to have a cutoff, and so that's our cutoff, is the city of Elko limits. And then out in Spring Creek, it's similar. If you're within the Spring Creek Association boundaries, or maybe not in the association but right adjacent to it, then we can deliver out there. And we really want to focus on Spring Creek because we've gotten a second truck, which was through the generosity of the grants through the Nevada Aging and Disability Services Division. And we haven't taken receipt of it yet. However, when we get it, we want to make sure that we are not building up and that we already have a client list that's there that we can continue to serve and just serve a little bit more effectively. So if you know of anyone that's homebound, 60 or better, in the Spring Creek area, please either call the Senior Center at 775-738-3030 or have them call us so that we can get them set up. It's important to know that this program is free, though there is a suggested donation of $3.50 per meal. And what we say is that an inability to pay does not affect the ability to get food. We are subsidized through the state of Nevada, and they do send us, they subsidize that. They send us about $3.80 per meal for our Meals on Wheels folks, and we're funded at about 90%. So we were pleased to see that and very happy with ADSD doing that for us. But it is important that we let folks know we are operating in Spring Creek, and we'd love to be able to service our neighbors out there.
And in fact, you're extending out some of the services and ideas. Even though there isn't a brick and mortar building, as you talked about, you're able to host bingo and do different things thanks to the generosity of the businesses there or the Spring Creek Association. And you're extending the Elko pantry to having a pantry just for senior citizens of Spring Creek, correct?
That's right. So it's both the Spring Creek and Elko communities again, and with either community for Meals on Wheels, you do need to be a member of the senior center. With our pantry, however, you don't need to be a member. It's anyone 60 and better. We don't even need your name as long as you're there to pick up. And you fill out your shopping list and we can get it filled. We usually ask that you give us 24 hours or the next day to fill it, depending on what the time of day is. But if somebody were to come in the afternoon, generally we can fill that afternoon. Please avoid the times between 11 and 1 because we are serving our lunches. But generally, yeah, we can get that out. And this is also a free pantry. And this is brought about because of the generosity of the William N. Pennington Foundation. They have provided the opportunity for us to go out, and I go to Smith's or Miss Kathy McAdoo, our previous regent, goes to, she's our shopper. And so we go to Smith's, we buy the food, we bring it back, we store it in our pantry, and then we just fill the orders as they come in. But we want to make sure that the community knows that. Again, both Spring Creek and Elko. And really, if somebody can drive in, if somebody from Rendon or Osino or any of those other areas drives into town, they can get their pickup for their pantry as well. So yeah, we want to make sure that folks know about that. Food costs have gone up. It is more expensive to do the weekly grocery shopping, and we recognize that, and we're so grateful that the Pennington Foundation recognizes that, and that's why they've provided this. We're not going to be able to fill your refrigerator. This is not to stock up in your cupboards and your own pantry. It's just supplemental things. In fact, the only things that we have that is not shelf stable are cheese and butter. And it's a pound of each, but otherwise we have instant milk and instant potatoes and canned beans and canned vegetables and we have fruit and cereal, oatmeals. We also have non-edibles such as laundry detergent and dish soap, bath soap, shampoo and conditioner. If you wear dentures, denture cleaner and denture cream. So it's supplemental, but it's hopefully able to save maybe $50 on a week's worth of groceries, and that's a lot of money to most of our seniors.
That's right. Those who are on fixed incomes who help to build this community and create opportunities for others. It's a way to give back. I'm glad that you mentioned, and we can take just a minute again, because the emphasis of the terrace at Ruby View, the Senior Center, Matt, is about nutrition and socialization. And I downloaded from your website, there's a link right there on the front page, an application if you want to fill it out and you want to start receiving these services. And I thought it was kind of poignant, the questions here, or something to ponder. These are things that you might be thinking about if you have been hesitant to either go to the terrace for meals in the dining room or to go through the drive-through, which is a limited opportunity but still available if you can't eat with others. But if you have an illness or condition that made you change the kind or amount of food you eat, if you eat fewer than 2 meals a day, if you eat very few fruits or vegetables or milk products, if you've had tooth or mouth problems that make it hard to eat, if you drink more than 3 drinks a day of beer, liquor, or wine, either daily or almost daily, if you don't always have enough money to buy the food you need, if you take 3 or more different prescribed over-the-counter drugs a day, or if you eat alone most of the day, or if you're not physically able to shop, cook, or feed yourself, or without wanting to, you've lost or gained 10 pounds in the last 6 months. These are all really compelling reasons to look into Meals with the Terrace, right?
Absolutely. And that survey, it's a kind of a health survey, helps us also to just have a very simple conversation with folks. We are not dietitians, we are not medically trained personnel, but these scores give us the opportunity to say, let's get you some meals first. Let's help you with your nutrition. And then you should probably talk to your doctor about some of these issues. If you answer yes to these questions, it gives a point range. And at a certain point level, this is when you should be visiting with your physician to make sure that they're aware. Because sometimes that's not something that comes up when you just go to a general physician's office of, I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And some of these questions, it's just designed to start that conversation and to let folks know it's okay to have that conversation and it's desired.
Matt McCarty is Executive Director of the Terrace at Ruby View, our senior activity programs, 1795 Ruby View Drive in Elko, 775-738-3030. Anyone listening to the program, if you're caring for a loved one, concerned about someone, you are that person, you can always just call that number and find a very friendly person on the other end who can help you and answer any number of questions. It's been kind of neat, Matt, the new people that have been moving in, and some of them have chosen Elko to retire to, so they can be closer to family.
Yes, absolutely. And it seems that almost daily we get new people coming in, and we love to see that. We love to introduce them to our members that have been established here for a while, and pretty soon they develop these friendships and they come in daily. It starts off with I just wanted to see what it was, and maybe I'll come in, once a month or so, or if I see something on the menu, and then we see them maybe once a week, and then twice a week, and then pretty soon it's almost daily, and we love that. We love that folks feel safe, feel welcomed at the center, and that's our goal, is to make sure that folks understand this is a community center. We just cater to those that are 60 or better, or as I was told today, one of our couples said, yeah, we're 60 and better.
That is excellent. There's your new slogan right there. And that brings us to an important point, too. Thanks to the generosity of the William N. Pennington Foundation, as you mentioned earlier, in establishing pantries for Elko and Spring Creek, you are about to launch a construction project, and you got over a couple of bumps, again, thanks to the Caring Community Garden. Family and friends and supporters, they have found a new home, which is really exciting.
They have, and we are very happy for that. We are building a garage to protect our Meals on Wheels trucks from vandalism. And due to the circumstances that is sometimes construction and is trying to find out where infrastructure lies under the ground, we had to move our building a few times. And it ended up that the only place that we were able to put it without interfering with the infrastructure from Elko, from the city of Elko, because it is a city of Elko lot that we're on, and we're right next to the water tanks. So that, of course, interferes with the just build wherever you want. We've got to, we're kind of limited in what we can do. We did have to relocate the community gardens, and we were going to relocate them on our lot, and they found something much bigger at the Presbyterian Church. So they are actually having a moving party of sorts this weekend. It'll be on Saturday, and if you are interested in helping out, please give us a call and we can get you in contact with the coordinator for the gardens, and she can help with that. So they are moving to an area almost 10 size, almost a full acre, 10 times the 10 times as big as what we could offer them. So that's terrific. And I'm hoping that with the folks that show up and expand that garden, they'll also be able to expand into the other areas that have been offered to them. There are opportunities across the city of Elko for them to continue to grow the garden into other locations for access. There's a area downtown that has been offered, and an area on the other side of the river, south side, that's been offered, and there's an area near Fish that has been offered. And so there are multiple different areas. And of course, if they would like to have an area up at the senior center, because we know that we've got some folks that walk to our gardens that we currently have, then we can make that work as well. So I'm really hopeful that this turns into a much larger opportunity for our community to embrace healthy eating, or at least embrace getting out into the outdoors, gardening, and embracing that horticulture and the outdoors that I think we all do when we go out hiking and fishing and hunting and camping, etc. But we can still enjoy playing in the dirt a little bit by growing some flowers and fruits and vegetables.
Matt, that is such great news. Something that was, so frustrating in the beginning because all the causes were so important and things had to happen quickly. And now look at it's truly people have given this community garden the attention that it deserves. And now we just need more people, because I'm sure the community gardeners are saying, oh, we could be there, we could be in all these locations. We just need more people. They need to grow their organization, probably become their own nonprofit, and register. I guess they were talking about doing the paperwork, right,
yep.
Matt? And and what a great. So if you're listening and you're new to the community, or you've been retired, or you've always wanted to do this, their moving day, as you said, Matt, is Saturday. And if they get more people to help, they can make quick work of this. Because Robin Wignall has to drive all the way from New Mexico, I think, as she's doing that.
Yep.
And because she's on a detail in her employment. And so she's going to make a quick turnaround this weekend because she wants to help this project along. And the more people that can turn out to help, the better this project is going to go. And it's going to show them so much more support, too.
Absolutely. Many hands make light work.
I was going to say that, but I figured I would leave that to you because it is a wonderful phrase for what you represent. So please do call 775-738-3030. Maybe if you've got a pickup truck, because they're going to be moving some of the flower beds or the beds, right?
That's my understanding. They're moving the beds. And because the garden has been there for, I think we determined about 18 years. No, 12 years. Maybe it was, I can't remember, but it's been there for quite a while. As anybody who gardens knows, that dirt has been seasoned, so to speak, and so it's good quality dirt.
They want to take it with them.
I think they want to take it with them, so that will certainly be helpful as well.
All right, so please give Matt a call. He's helping Robin and all the others with the Elko Community Garden. I was trying to put together a radio show, but it's just too close to the time of the moving. So when they get settled in, we'll have those guests come, listeners, and then we can talk more about a community-wide, region-wide community garden project. And keep that food coming.
Absolutely. That would be terrific. I think that giving them a spotlight on their own would be terrific. And we always appreciate the generosity of you and your program, as well as, of course, Elko Broadcasting.
Well, thanks. We do like to water the green spots, if you don't mind the pun in this case. And that leads us to, again, an update on your construction project, because with the vacating the garden there on the grounds, it kind of gives you the green light, we hope?
It does. We were able to address our concerns with the Planning Commission. Planning Commission did allow us to move forward with our conditional use permit, and we were very thankful for that. So that garage project will probably start mid to late summer. We've got to get the material in. We've got to get some other things taken care of and ready to go. And because it was going to interrupt the growing season, that's why that pushed forward the move for our community gardens. So we'll probably have construction on that mid to late summer. And then also through the generosity of Nevada Gold Mines and William N. Pennington Foundation, we'll have an indoor construction project as well. That will most likely begin, I'm really hoping it'll begin in the next 3 weeks. It may be another 6 weeks, though, while we wait for all of our contractors and subcontractors and the equipment to come in for that as well. That will necessitate shutting down the kitchen in our senior center. So we will not be serving congregate lunches, but we will be continuing our Meals on Wheels program, delivering frozen foods. And we deliver hot foods generally 5 days a week, and frozen foods are available for those that would like it on the weekend. With the kitchen down, we'll be preparing extra food, then freezing that so that then we can deliver those meals to our folks that are more homebound.
Do you know about how long, what the duration might be on that, Matt?
We're aiming for 2 weeks. as all things with construction, if we need to go into 3 weeks, we'll be ready. We should be ready for that.
Okay, good. And we can help. We'll be in touch, Matt and I, and obviously you have these monthly radio shows, and we can do extra too, because that could be a big impact on a lot of our seniors, and we want to be able to steer them to other resources if some other businesses or civic groups want to take some time to do that.
That would be terrific. Yeah, absolutely. If there are restaurateurs that are listening, that during that period, if they wanted to offer additional senior discounts, let us know. We'd be happy to spread that word as well.
Yeah, even if they were just really good quality sack lunches, or, I know that the club at Ruby View is doing really well, and what a nice lunch that would be to go up to the golf course in the city of Elko and enjoy a lunch. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great view there too.
Yes, exactly. So, and that's kind of in the neighborhood. Matt McCarty is our guest today. He is the executive director of the Terrace at Ruby View. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about this cool new thing that Department of Wildlife, Julie Gabrielson, was on, and she's so excited that NDOW is going to be doing these monthly summer presentations at the Terrace.
Yeah, we were so pleased when NDOW reached out to us. We love the partnerships that we have with so many organizations throughout the area, and the Nevada Department of Wildlife, Division of Wildlife, had reached out to us. No, it is Nevada Department of Wildlife, I'm sorry, reached out to us and asked if we thought the seniors might enjoy some presentations. And we said that we think they will. So we're going to have 3 different presentations, one in the months each of June, July, and August. And they'll be covering different topics. One of them is kind of in your backyard, and it'll be specific to birding. What are some of the birds that we see in our area on a regular basis? Then we're going to be looking at more outside and what kind of wildlife we see with skulls and tracking and skulls and identification of animals. And then the last one will be on the tracks that animals leave behind. So we're really excited about that.
And if you have questions, you can call our friend Nicole St. John at NDOUT 775-777-2391. But that might be those are good activities that if you want to bring a friend or a guest for lunch, if you're a grandparent, I bet grandkids would love those.
Absolutely. And as I've said before, we are a community center. We just focus on seniors, but absolutely with summer and school out right now, please bring grandkids or bring a family up and they can learn on this as well. Our first one is June 21st, so it's next week.
Coming right up. So don't forget that Wild Summer Months activities with Nevada Department of Wildlife. And those are all offered free of charge.
Yes, ma'am.
Matt, just like most things that go on at the Terrace. Everything we've been talking about, by the way, you can, if you don't have transportation, remember you can get my ride. That's Elko County Greater Area Transit, 775-777-1428. We toss out a lot of numbers sometimes, Matt, but it's all online at elkoseniors.org.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Of all the things that we have to talk about, I want to make sure that we pick and choose some of your favorites. I know the senior games are rolling right up on us.
Senior games are coming up. It's going to be the end of July. So we have another month, and I'll be able to explain more or talk about it more in next month's program. And we can kind of go from there. But we are having our 21st annual Senior Games, and we're so happy to be partnered with the Elko Senior Games organization. We are looking for some volunteers. If you'd like to help out, please let us know. The games stretch over 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the end of July. And we have events ranging from basketball to darts, bowling, billiards, brain games, and Jeopardy. We have pistol shooting. We have running or I think that it's a walk. It's the river walk. We have bicycling, track and field. Track and field is where we would like a lot of help with volunteers because there are a lot of events there. And that's just a sample of what we have. That's not exclusive, and that's not the only things that we offer. So we hope that folks will consider coming out.
Yep, and we will talk more about that with Matt McCarty in our July program, but it'll be here before you know it, July 26th through the 30th. So start planning now for the Elko Senior Games. And then with the other things that we have coming, I mean, summer just has come roaring in, Matt. And so if people have questions or concerns about things like, Mormon crickets in their neighborhoods, or if you need help with that, or, if you have questions about Medicare, Medicaid, that kind of thing, Matt, I mean, you're a resource and referral for all kinds of, needs or concerns.
Absolutely. If we can't find that answer, if we don't have that answer, then we certainly will do our best to put you in contact, or put the person in contact with someone that might be able to get that answer. We try to be as all-encompassing as possible. We can't do or know it all, but we certainly try to continue to make connections so that we know where to refer people to. And we do have a lot of opportunities for folks to come up to the center to have a one-stop shop, whether that's for financial guidance through Washington Federal, or Medicare advice through Access to Healthcare or Kristen Rowe. We also have legal advice about every other month. So if you have a question on wills, or perhaps you have a landlord issue, either as a landlord or as a tenant, other simple legal issues, we can help you with that. Dr. Patton comes up with podiatry 8 times a year. So we try to be a one-stop shop for things that we can do, and if not, then we try to make sure that we're reaching out and giving that opportunity elsewhere as well. And speaking of Access to Healthcare, the 24th, which is a Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, so not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after, is the Rural Health Fair put on by Access to Healthcare. And that will be in the city park, so we hope that folks will come out and enjoy that.
That should be a wonderful time. And anytime you can get together with others, supporters, and people who have care and passion for whatever project it might be in the city park, that's a great time. So we'll remind people of that too, the Rural Access to Healthcare Health Fair, which is, you said June
24th. It's a Saturday. Okay. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Matt, so much for that. And then I guess in closing, something else that the Terrace at Ruby View does very well, and that is outreach and support of other events and activities, whether it's Horizon Hospice and the Super Bowl, to our local law enforcement and the Carl Cox Memorial Cops and Burgers event.
Yes, ma'am. If you have not yet eaten lunch, please consider going over to the Elko County Sheriff's Office, where they are having the Cops and Burgers event, and this is benefits Special Olympics. So if I recall correctly, I think it's $6 for lunch. Great value. You can get your choice of a cheeseburger, a hot dog, or a chorizo, I believe, and maybe perhaps see some things that you want to enter into a raffle, and perhaps throw a little bit of money towards the Special Olympics. It's an amazing organization, and we're happy to be able to partner with them every now and then. One of our employees is the co-director of the Special Olympics, and so near and dear to our heart as well. And we're happy to try to support them, because there are so many people that support the senior center. It's only right for us to try to support others as well.
Matt, thank you. It's always a great half an hour that we spend with you, and we find out so much, and we really celebrate the achievements. I see that the new member list is growing every single month, so congratulations to you and the staff.
Thank you so much. We have an amazing staff. They do such a great job. We've got wonderful volunteers, and I am so thankful to have the board of directors that we do as well, because they are quite supportive. It takes a team, and the team that we have, I can't thank them enough. I want to throw out 2 more quick things. Thank you so much to Elko Broadcasting and your team for doing the Senior to Senior. As you may have heard over the past couple of weeks, as we are preparing as a community and as a county for our Elko County School District graduates, we were able to have some of our senior members deliver messages to our graduating seniors. And that's all because of Elko Broadcasting and their team. We are so thankful for that. So thank you very much for running that. And as one father to other fathers, a very happy Father's Day to all of our fathers out there. And if you'd like to come up to the Senior Center, we have a special Father's Day luncheon next Friday. So we'd love to have you come up for that if you'd like. And actually, no, it's this Friday. It's in 2 days.
Oh, It's almost here. Okay, so take Dad to the terrace at Ruby View. Go with Dad, even if Dad doesn't invite you. Show up, but celebrate. Dads everywhere. Bonus dads, I think they call them now.
Yes.
They're all kinds of,
Yep, yeah. So yeah, come on up for barbecue roast is what we're going to be having.
Ooh, sounds like Dad's favorite. All right.
We try.
Matt McCarty is the executive director of the Terrace at Ruby View, our senior and active lifestyle center. And you've been listening to our radio show Elko Live here on KELK as we feature community news and local issues weekdays from 12:30 to 1.